You believe she's yours. You tell yourself this because she kissed you last night, because she laughed at your jokes, because she once cried in your arms and swore she could never lose you. You believe it because she posts pictures of you online with filters and hearts, because she cooks for you, because she calls you her man. But if you've lived long enough, or bled hard enough, you already know the truth that most men spend their entire lives avoiding. She was never yours. It was only your turn. The moment you forget that is the moment you set yourself up for collapse. Because if your masculinity, your self-worth, your very sense of identity is built on the illusion of ownership, then when she changes, as she inevitably will, you crumble right along with her absence. This video is not meant to turn you bitter. It is meant to wake you up. It is meant to free you. And if you stay with me until the end, you will walk away with a perspective that no breakup, no betrayal, no shift in her emotions will ever destroy again. Welcome to Stoic Advice for Men. If you're serious about building strength, sovereignty, and unshakable masculine presence, make sure you subscribe right now. Join the brotherhood. Because here, we don't run from the truth, we master it. She doesn't belong to you. She never did. She belongs to the moment, to the energy you represent right now, not the promises you made, not the ring on her finger, not the tears she shed when she swore eternal devotion. And here's the sting. That moment doesn't last. A woman's loyalty is not carved into stone. It's written in wet ink, ink that smudges, fades, and sometimes vanishes overnight. You were her obsession this week. You were her emotional drug this month. But desire is not logic. Desire is not duty. Desire is pure biology, and biology is restless. This is why breakups feel like death. You are not just grieving her, you are grieving the man you were when she wanted you. You are grieving the version of yourself that matched her emotional needs in that season. And that is the painful beauty of this lesson. If you stop evolving, she stops desiring. If you believe her loyalty is eternal, you are building your house on sand. So what do? You stop clinging. You stop needing forever. You stop trying to possess. Instead, you become the moment. You embody the kind of man whose energy is always sharpening, always growing, always becoming. If you're nodding right now, if you know deep down you've been clinging instead of becoming, drop a comment that says, "I choose growth." Let me see how many men in this community are ready to live like Stoics. You weren't her only choice, you were just her most exciting one at the time. And if that makes you uncomfortable, good. Let it burn. Because only when you accept this will you stop living in delusion and start living in power. Every woman, no matter how loyal she appears, has options. Some visible, some invisible, some tested, some simply waiting. She has admirers, orbiters, colleagues, exes who linger in the background, just friends who would risk it all for one chance. When she said, "You're the only one I want," what she really meant was, "Right now, you are the option that excites me the most." But excitement fades, attraction shifts, and if you stop being magnetic, someone else will step into focus. It doesn't happen overnight. It begins slowly. Delayed replies, excuses, less laughter, a colder tone. Then come the speeches. "I need space. I'm focusing on myself. I'm not feeling connected." By the time you hear those words, she's already emotionally invested elsewhere. Maybe not physically yet, but emotionally, she has drifted. And once a woman drifts emotionally, the body soon follows. You didn't lose because you were worthless. You lost because you got comfortable. You stopped being the best option. You gave her all your energy without keeping any mystery for yourself. Understand this. The man who becomes everything outside of her, the man who has his own mission, who owns his time, who protects his energy, that's the man she cannot forget. Even if she walks away, even if she's with someone else, she will remember the man who did not make her his entire universe. If you're tired of being replaced, tired of being predictable, smash the like button. Because this channel is where men learn to stop begging for attention and start commanding respect. Possession is the most dangerous illusion of all. You share her bed, you hold her hand, she introduces you to her family, and suddenly you tell yourself, "She's mine. She'll never leave." But ownership breeds entitlement, and entitlement kills desire. The moment you act like she's secured, you stop sharpening yourself. You stop leading. You stop being alert. You stop listening. You grow lazy. You grow dull. And when you grow dull, polarity fades, attraction withers, and routine kills the fire. She doesn't want to be owned. She wants to be chosen, again and again, by a man who never stops earning her presence. The second you treat her like a prize you've already won, you stop winning her. And when she leaves, you spiral, you rage, you feel betrayed. But what you never saw is that she was never yours to lose. She was only ever aligned with the strength of your frame. When your frame collapses, when your values bend, your confidence falters, your mission dissolves, so does her attraction. And if your identity was built on her presence, you collapse with it. But if your identity is built on purpose, mastery, and truth, then her presence is a bonus, not a lifeline. And when she leaves, you don't break, you rise. That is what we teach here on Stoic Advice for Men. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. Join thousands of men who are choosing to build their lives on stone, not sand. This truth is not meant to make you bitter. It is meant to set you free. Female desire is not a contract. It is not property. It is a flame. And like all flames, it needs oxygen, space, and movement. When you smother it with neediness, it dies. When you starve it of growth, it flickers out. But when you embody sovereignty, when your presence is powered by purpose, discipline, and stillness, you don't need to hold her tightly. You don't fear her departure, because whether she stays or goes, you remain unshaken. And here is the paradox. The man who does not need her is the man she cannot resist. The man who can walk away calmly is the man she cannot replace. If this is hitting you hard right now, pause and comment unshaken, because that word is the essence of Stoicism, unmoved by storms, anchored in truth. So now you stand at a crossroads. One path is delusion. Keep pretending that her passion guarantees permanence, that her tears mean forever, that her body is a promise. Keep building your house on shifting sand, and watch it collapse when the tide changes. The other path is sovereignty. Build your life on stone, on discipline, on mission, on mastery. Become the kind of man who never fears loss, because he never depends on what was never his. When you embrace this, you stop being controlled by women. You stop being controlled by the fear of betrayal. You become the rarest thing in her world, a man who cannot be broken, a man who cannot be owned. That's the man we are building on this channel. If you're ready to walk that path, make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell, because we are only getting started. So let's put it plainly. She was never yours. It was only your turn. But that isn't tragedy. It's freedom. Once you accept it, you will never again fear abandonment. You will never again cling to illusions. You will never again beg for loyalty that was never promised. You will see relationships not as possessions, but as alignments. Not as cages, but as seasons. You will stop trying to own her, and instead focus on owning yourself. And the paradox is this: the moment you stop needing her is the moment you become unforgettable to her. The moment you stop clinging is the moment you start commanding. The moment you detach is the moment you rise. So when she drifts, when her laughter fades, when she says she needs space, do not panic, do not rage, do not beg. Stand tall, walk forward, remain sovereign, because the Stoic man does not collapse when illusions shatter. He builds, he sharpens, he becomes greater still. If you've felt this truth in your bones, if you've ever lost a woman and realized it was your chance to grow, type Stoic in the comments. Let's fill this channel with men who choose strength over delusion. And before you leave, don't forget, like this video, share it with a brother who needs to hear it, and subscribe to Stoic Advice for Men. Together, we are creating a community of men who will never again be enslaved by illusions, but will rise into sovereignty, clarity, and peace. Because in the end, she was never yours. And once you embrace that, you are finally free.